All right, everybody, we are going to try this out. We are live. Let us see who is in the chat. Welcome, everybody. My name is Kenan. I'm the Chinese Tones guy. I'm trying out live for the first time on YouTube here, as well as using OBS for the first time. So, this is going to be awesome. Let's see. Let's see, who do we have in the chat? Am I able to see the live chat from here? All right. What is up, everybody? So here, I just wanted to, this is my first time using this software, so bear with me. First of all, thank you everybody for all of your support on my channel. A lot of the videos where I'm doing the Mandarin Chinese tongue twisters seem to be really resonating with a lot of folks. Oh, hey, 老师你好，老师你好，大家好，我是柯南。I actually have a background in chemistry and then acting, and I was in China acting in a bunch of TV shows. And hello, everybody. What's going on? Starting to see the chat. By the way, I'm testing out new software here, so please bear with me. Let me know. Can you type a 1 in the chat? All right, so type a 1 in the chat if you're wanting to learn Chinese. Type a 2 in the chat if you already speak Chinese. All right, so 1 if you're learning Chinese, and 2 if you already speak Chinese. I want to get to know who we have in here. Hello, K-pop lover. How's it going? 1.5. We got some people who already know a little bit of Chinese. I guess that's a 1.5. Nicholas. Ni hao. Where are you from, Nicholas? So when you see this on screen here, can you read this? Can you read this? I was thinking I might do a little bit of a live reading of some maybe beginning to intermediate material. By the way, welcome everybody. So this is my first time testing out live here, so I'm super excited to try this. But let's go ahead here. So here we have 我的大麻烦. That's the title. Number 1. 我的大麻烦. Does anyone know what 麻烦 means? 我的 means my, and 麻烦. 麻烦 is like one still learning. That's all right. 麻烦 is like a annoyance. All right, so this is or a problem. So this would be like my very big problem, or a big problem of mine. 一般加拿大. Oh yeah, annoying. I need a way to make my chat larger for my screen. I guess I have to note that for myself. What's up, everybody? Again, I'm Kenan. Some people call me the Chinese Tones guy. In my videos, in my shorts, I really dive deep into pronunciation and perfecting pinyin and pronunciation in Chinese. There actually aren't a lot of unique syllables in Mandarin Chinese. So if you can really learn how to pronounce every syllable correctly, and there are only like 400 of them, there's a little over 400. But there's really, my point is there are only about a little over 400 unique syllables in Mandarin Chinese, and if you learn how to pronounce all of those with perfection, you can pronounce any single thing in the entire language, no matter how difficult the material is. No matter if you're talking about buying something at the store, or if you're speaking about like complex philosophical or legal issues, they all use the same 400-ish syllables, just rearranged. And then, of course, we get the different meanings when we add the different tones in Mandarin Chinese. Are you in China right now? I'm not in China right now. I'm not in China right now. I am in California. I am in the US of A. I was in China though. I was acting in Chinese movies and TV shows. I played Mike Evans in the original Three Body Problem. So you might see Three Body Problem on Netflix. I was the villain in the original Chinese version. That's probably the biggest role I've had in my life. Anyway, yeah, so we have Qian Liang Tian right here. All right, so we open up with Qian Liang Tian. Now, Qian means before, and Liang Tian means 2 days. All right, so so that could literally mean over the past 2 days, or it's a way to say like recently, you know. And the pinyin here would be, oh, whoops, I don't want to confuse anyone. The pinyin would be Q. Ah, man, look at that. I need to get used to this iPad. All right, Qian, Qian Liang, Qian Liang, Tian. So can you follow along with me? Are you able to make these syllables? Let me know. Qian, Qian Liang Tian, recently or over the past couple of days. Qian Liang Tian. Hey everybody, let us know in the chat where you're tuning in from. All right, so go ahead, type your, introduce yourself, your name, your city, where you're from, and also I want a few more people to let me know your Chinese level. Like, are you learning Chinese right now? Maybe tell us why, but just go ahead and drop something in the chat letting us know where you're from. Whoops, there we go. All right, so Qian Liang Tian. So recently, over the past couple days, all right, 我的女朋友，我的女朋友. So that would be 我的女朋友，我的女朋友. That's my girlfriend. 我的女朋友, my girlfriend. We got 我很好奇. Oh, I'm gonna have to lean in. I'm gonna have to lean into my monitor. Again, everybody, bear with me. This is my first time trying YouTube Live, and I'm using a streaming software. And my text is really tiny. I wonder if I can... oh, there we go. I can increase the size of... my screen is actually quite far away. Let's see. 把你汉语说得这么好. Chinese was chronologically my first language, so now I speak at a 3rd grade level while English is my primary language. Oh, that's interesting. You know, some people think that my Chinese is... hey, everybody, some people think... How should I say this? You know, because I don't want to discourage anybody. You know, my tones are pretty decent. What the thing is, I respected tones from the beginning. Mandarin Chinese is a tonal language, okay? Mandarin Chinese is a tonal language. If you aren't speaking the tones, you are not speaking the language. Okay, so that's the thing. You want to respect tones from the beginning. There are only 4 tones. And if you really, really focus on building a solid foundation with Mandarin Chinese tones first, and just take it slow from the beginning, it's like building a strong foundation for a house, or it's like building a wide highway. And then when you start to actually learn more words and grammar, you're able to build a large skyscraper, if you will. Or, you know, you're able to put more truckloads of information down your information superhighway. You know, I was living in China, and I met a lot of foreigners who had amazing Chinese vocabulary, and their reading level is really, really good. Their tones were pretty bad, though, and their career kind of suffered. They hit a point in their career where they were struggling with conversations, and each interaction of theirs could only be like surface level. They couldn't get really deep really quickly with people, which could be frustrating if you're talking about high stakes business environments, right? So I saw a lot of Westerners and people from other countries with these high-level Chinese vocabularies, but their growth was stunted because their pronunciation was pretty bad, and they had to go back and relearn Chinese, basically. They had to relearn all of their words and all their tones, essentially learning Chinese twice. Let's see, I'm from Quebec, and I study international diplomacy. I learned Chinese because I'm HSK 3 to 4. I'm not learning Chinese right now, but I like how you explain it. That's great. Hi, hey, hello. Is it K or Kai? Chinese is in the curriculum in my school, so I have to learn it. Hey, your school is smart. That's good. Chinese is an incredible language to learn. I see Chinese as a skill magnifier, and therefore an income magnifier. Okay, so unless you're really passionate about China, Chinese, and Chinese culture, you wouldn't want to only learn Chinese. You can absolutely do that and then just study Chinese and maybe teach Chinese. But if you have another talent or another skill and another passion, by learning and stacking Mandarin Chinese on top of that, you now get to bring your skill and passion into one of the largest marketplaces in the entire world. And so many Westerners are not learning Mandarin Chinese. So you get to enter a new pool of friends and colleagues and customers with so much less competition than in the West, right? So it's really pretty smart. And please follow. If you like any of this material, please subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. I will be wanting to go live more often, or I will be going live more often. I'm going to fix my software so it's a little less buggy. But yeah, you subscribe to my channel if you want to enter a Mandarin Chinese learning community that's also fun and unique and based on my experience, okay? Because what I did was I learned Mandarin Chinese as an adult, and within just under 2 years, it already made most of my dreams come true. I was in China and I started getting large TV and film roles. So I've acted in plenty of TV shows, and essentially all my artistic dreams came true because I learned Mandarin Chinese. And it's pretty awesome. Thank you. Hello. All right, Chinese in the, yeah. Let's see. 刚成功 HSK 4考试打算从事翻译. Oh, sweet. So we've got an HSK 4 student in here. Congratulations. That is really impressive. My daughter has wonderful tones. People ask if she learned Mandarin, but she's just starting out. People think she's more fluent than she is. Honestly, if you have really, really good pronunciation, you might be more fluent than you think. Because after that, even complex topics like angular momentum or contract law, it's just the same syllables reordered. I'm South Africa. I'm learning Chinese because I want to travel to China when I'm done with school. Amazing. I hope you can create more videos about Chinese. I definitely want to. Right now, I release 2 shorts every week, and they always involve either tone differentiation practice via interesting, fun tongue twisters, or tonal difference videos, or like list of words. And there's always like comedic elements in there, but a lot of vocabulary. And I even color code the words and the meanings so that ideally, if you enjoy the videos, you can either keep rewatching them or screenshot the different frames so that they're useful. Pandemonium says, I absolutely hate shorts, but your puns are hilarious. You make it sound possible. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm sorry you don't like the shorts. Sorry about that. I hope to help you like the shorts better. Again, welcome everybody. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We have viewers and friends from all over the world who are interested in Chinese. Chinese changed my life. I know it can change yours. Right. So we have Xiaohong right here. Xiaohong. That's it's been underlined in this little story because it's a name. Okay, the pinyin of this would be XIAO with a third tone there. And you'd probably capitalize it because it's someone's name. But Xiaohong, right? So third tone, second tone, Xiaohong literally means little red. But here we've got somebody's name. So it's a little red. Hey there, everybody. And thank you so much for your support. Some people were sending in like super chats and donations, and I just think it's really helped me out. It's really helped me focus on making more videos and everything. All right, so 小红跟我说, so said to me. All right, so right now we have 前两天. Over the past few days, my girlfriend, Little Red, Xiaohong, said to me, okay, that's what we're talking about so far. 她需要280万买套房子. All right, does anyone know what that means? 她需要means need, and this is the female version of 她. All right, so she needs 2.8 million. All right, she wants it to buy a house for 2.8 million. And because we're dealing with the Chinese story, we're most likely talking about Chinese renminbi. But this one's interesting. All right, so in Chinese, we count with a lot of tens. It's a little bit different with how we count large numbers in English, where we count in hundreds, then thousands, then maybe 100,000s. In Chinese, they are more accustomed to counting in 10,000s, right? So in units of 10,000s. So in Chinese, to say 100,000, they wouldn't actually say 100,000. They would say 10,000s. All right, so the unit for 10,000 in Chinese is 1. All right, and that's right here. Let me fix my pen here. That's right here. This little guy right there, 1, means 10,000. Yeah, good for you. I'm seeing some people in the chat. 需要 and 必须, are they similar? Kind of similar. 需要 can mean must, but 必须 is definitely must. So 需要 can be want or need. 必须 is like must. 我告诉你，小红是个Yeah, 赶紧分手. Yeah. We can already tell that this Xiaohong is maybe not the best girlfriend to have. Funny thing, I'm from Hong Kong and I believe that I'm fluent in English, but not in both Cantonese and Putonghua. Please reply to my comment, sir. Signs behind. Oh, I'm sorry that I didn't see your message there. Please suggest how I can reach fluency as quickly as possible while managing my difficult studies. Okay, everybody. I want to address the studying Chinese issue. All right, so can I get a 1 in the chat if we are studying Chinese? Type a 1 in the chat if we are studying Chinese. And I want to give maybe my greatest Mandarin Chinese studying tip, because you know what happened to me? I began learning Mandarin Chinese as an adult, and within just a few years, Mandarin Chinese completely changed my life. I became one of the only Westerners to ever have a leading role in a Chinese feature film. I became famous in China on Chinese social media. All right. So type a 1 in the chat if we are learning Chinese. Oh, we got a lot of Chinese learners here. Jama, Nicholas, Kai, Mouse, Wizard, Pop, Tom Tan, signs behind Chinese. Yes. All right. So we got a lot of people learning Chinese. That's amazing. You may have already heard me say this, but I think reminders are great. Learn proper tones and pronunciation first, okay? Learn proper tones and pronunciation first. It might be kind of, you might want to rush into conversations with people or learning a bunch of words, but if you don't know how to properly construct the sounds first, you will learn words incorrectly. Okay, so please learn tones and pronunciation first. And to the degree that you do that, you will build a solid Mandarin Chinese foundation, and then you will learn everything else at like rapid speed. Okay, so tones and pronunciation first. Don't make the mistake that I've seen a lot of foreigners make, is where they kind of haphazardly rush into saying a bunch of things and learning a bunch of words, but their tones are kind of bad, because then they have to go back and relearn the words, essentially learning Chinese twice, except I will tell you it's harder the second time, because you have to unlearn what you've already committed to memory and replace it with something kind of similar. Does that make sense, everybody? Does that make sense? Are you being Qilian? No. I learned Chinese previously and I have trouble finding people to keep up the skill with. Sarah, hey, look, trust me, I'm right there with you. We all need a language speaking environment. In fact, everybody, I'm trying to create one of those. So if you're learning Chinese and want a Chinese learning environment, go ahead and email let me write this down, right? If you email the Chinese, well, no, that's not going to be the email that I want people to use for this. If you email, let me even remember the email I'm using for this. You can tell it's going to be brand new. All right. The Chinese dojo at gmail.com. All right. Email the Chinese dojo at gmail.com. And what I'm doing is I am in the works. I'm creating a tones and pronunciation course, but also a learning environment, like a Discord channel, so that a bunch of people who are studying Chinese can come together and practice every day. When I get it launched, I'm going to do things like daily dojo, where there'll be like a daily prompt, something to read, and then people will be able to send like audio recordings and have it actually either reviewed by me or a native Chinese speaker. So people will have daily practice, and my dream is to get enough people to be able to support me hiring enough native speakers so that there's always someone there to actually have live conversation with. So whenever you want to practice Chinese, you just log on to the server and either practice typing your Chinese or sending voice memos. All right, so go ahead and yeah, it's going to be a Discord first. I'm not sure about WhatsApp. I don't know if I don't want people to maybe have to give their phone numbers. I want it to be like, a community, but I want to respect everyone's privacy. But go ahead and email the Chinese dojo at gmail.com if potentially joining an online Chinese speaking community sounds interesting and fun for you. All right, the Chinese dojo at gmail.com. What do we got? We got any tips for tones? I'll be starting Chinese for school next year, and tones are very intimidating. I understand. I already know 3 languages, so I'm pretty confident with vocab, but tones are new to me. Any tips? Yes. Who wants some tonal tips? All right. So can I get a type tones in the chat if we want some? Go ahead, type tones. All right. If I get like 10 people typing tones, maybe I can give some tips on tones. All right. And of course, with tones, luckily we only have 4 tones. We got a bunch of people typing tones. If I get a few more people typing tones, maybe I can speak a little bit about learning tones. All right, this will probably be great for ethnic Chinese as well who moved to countries and forgot. That's right. Yeah, no, it's for anyone who wants to learn Chinese and increase their increase the potentials that they have to, increase the adventurism and income and friends and business partners in their life. Oh, tones. Okay, so a lot of people want to learn about tones. That's excellent. By the way, thank you, everybody. So thank you for subscribing to my channel and learning Chinese with me. I'm just flabbergasted. Like, it's made me feel so amazing as a creator that over 250,000 people have followed my account to learn Mandarin Chinese. That means we're not alone, everybody. There's a lot of interest in Mandarin Chinese. We just need the right community, and I'm really trying to bring us together. All right, so let's talk about tones. What's one thing we can do? I want to give one tip here for tones. Okay, and of course we have 4 tones. I'm just going to use this area here for scratch paper. So we have 4 tones, right? We have the high tone, we have the rising tone, we have the falling and rising tone, and the falling tone. Some people will say there are 5 tones. I will pass away on this hill. Okay, there are 4 tones, and then there's a neutral tone, but the lack of a tone, in my opinion, is not a tone. There's just not a there are some syllables that don't have a tone. We call it the neutral tone, but there are 4 tones. All right. One way to help you solidify tones is to place tones on words from your native language. All right, so check this out. This is one thing, and this is coming from me. Okay, so this helped me, and this is my own method. You're not going to get this anywhere else. All right, because some native Chinese speakers have forgotten that Westerners and people from other countries didn't grow up with tones. So native level people who grew up in China, they don't have to think about tones the way we don't think about grammar, which is why it's a fallacy when you hear something like, oh, tones don't matter. We can understand what you mean. We can guess what you mean. Only in very specific scenarios where context is crystal clear, and it's usually very low stakes situations, can someone guess what you mean temporarily. All right, and that's the big fallacy. It's low stakes and it's temporary. Like when you're at a store and you point to something and you tell, like, this comb, right? I wanted to make sure I looked good for you guys. Like if this comb is at a store and someone is like, talking about that you're able to point to what you want to buy, and the store clerk is there and they can guess that, oh, what you mean is this comb, right? In so many areas in life, context is not clear. If you're on the phone, if it's an emergency, if you're telling someone about your background or teaching someone something, and then, by the way, if your conversation partner, right, miraculously can guess what you mean, that doesn't mean you'll be able to guess what they mean, right? If you are not producing and processing tones correctly, you're not going to understand what your conversation partners mean. So the goal of conversation, right, is not that your conversation partners guess what you mean. You want to be clearly understood, and you want to clearly understand people, okay? So one thing you can do is first place tones on words from your own language, all right? Because when you do that, your brain doesn't really have to focus on the word. Your mind can solely focus on the tone, all right? So this is an interesting thing. So let's take the word cat, okay? Let's take the word cat. So let's all just say cat, all right? Say cat. Let's put the first tone on cat, and the first tone is the high tone, and it's steady and unchanging. All right, so I'm going to say cat with a first tone, right? Cat, cat, cat. Now let's say cat with the second tone. Cat, cat. I bet you can hear the difference when we do something like this much more quickly, much more easily than if we had to learn both a new Chinese syllable and process a tone, right? If I say cat, cat, you can hear the difference, right? Type a 1 in the chat if you can hear the difference. Cat, 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 cat. Yeah, right. So this is kind of an interesting way to sort of hack your way into processing tones. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy, y'all. I'm so happy that everyone can hear that difference, right? That means that Mandarin Chinese tones don't have to be some super cryptic thing that it confuses our brain. We can actually create like an intermediary ground for ourselves. And I'm so happy so many people respond to that the way I did for myself as well. So at the beginning, when you're learning tones, one good way is to place tones on words you already know, to practice hearing how the pitches are moving and changing, and also reproducing them. And then when you feel a little confident, like, oh, I can say a word with like a flat, high, unchanging tone. Cat, cat, right? Then you start to add, then you start to try the first tone on actual Chinese syllables, right? Like ma or jin, jin. But I would implore you to not rush too quickly into that, because you really want to learn the articulation and the pronunciation for the initials and the finals and the syllables, right? So if you don't know how to pronounce the pinyin, Q, which can be pretty tough for people, or the X, right? You want to learn these first before you start learning too many words, because you don't want to have to go back and relearn, right? Sir, are you I am not Turkish. My name is Turkish. My name is Turkish, but I am not. I know it's weird. It's Q. Yeah, Q is hard. Q can be difficult for people. Let's see. We have some similar ones. Like these t, s, t, t, t. So the Q, t, 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 and s. So X is interesting in pinyin, and maybe this would probably be a little bit too difficult for this live stream right now. The articulation of like an X or a J or a Q. In pinyin. I don't want to go too deeply into that right now. But X is interesting. It's one of those sibilant sounds, right? So we're leaving a tiny gap between the tip of our tongue and the alveolar ridge, and we're allowing some continuous airflow. And that can be a little bit difficult because we don't have an immediate reference sound like in English or something. But luckily, we don't have a lot of unique syllables in Mandarin Chinese. There are only about 400 of them. And if you can learn how to pronounce the 415-ish, it's about 413 or 415 unique syllables in Mandarin Chinese, you can pronounce everything in the language with absolute certainty. That's why I really stress tones and pronunciation first. Because if you can commit just a few months to learning proper pronunciation and learn how to pronounce all of the Mandarin Chinese syllables, then when you see the transcription for literally any word in the entire language, you won't be confused about how it's pronounced. You just won't. And that's very different from English, where, in English we use an alphabet. Right? In English, we have an alphabet of 26 letters, and we combine all the letters in a multitude of ways to create, over 10, 20, 30,000 words, and so many have different ways of being pronounced, right? But in Mandarin Chinese, you have like 400 some odd syllables, and that's it. And then words are just different combinations and orders of those syllables with the tones. Oh yeah, when people say that the SH, SH is similar to X, don't believe it. All right, just go ahead, don't believe it. They definitely, you could say that one could say truthfully that they are more similar than other initials, but they are certainly very unique, and I wouldn't want people to get caught in the trap of making the same sound when they really do have their differences. Welcome everybody. This is so awesome. You know, I'm like really inspired when I see so many people learning here to learn Mandarin Chinese. So again, if you want, if potentially joining an online Mandarin Chinese speaking community interests you, please, please, please email me at the Chinese dojo at gmail.com. All right, the Chinese dojo at gmail.com. And I promise I will not spam you. I will only message you if I have something of high value to share. All right, I will not spam you. So I will only share something if there's something of value to share, like if I have some resources for improving tones and pronunciation, or once I'm launching the online learning community, the Discord channel, where a bunch of people from all over the world who want to learn Mandarin Chinese can come together for daily exercise and real life feedback. All right, quit it with those apps where you're just like memorizing words, but you're not getting any context or feedback. Right? People talk about Duolingo and ask me if I think it's an okay platform. And you know, Duolingo to me it's kind of like if you were learning math and just started memorizing numbers. Like on Duolingo, if there was a math version of Duolingo, you would learn that 33 is a number and 97 is a number. But would you learn like operations or how to actually perform mathematical operations and solve things? I don't know. Anyway, so ta all right, this Xiaohong, all right. So we're back to Xiaohong and we say 他不想再和他的爸爸妈妈姐姐住在一起了. All right. So 爸爸 is father, all right? 爸爸 father. 爸爸. And then we have mama and 姐姐. All right, so that's father, mother, and older sister. All right, so this, by the way, just foreshadowing, this girlfriend is really picky and kind of annoying, huh? 住在一起了. So 一起 means together. 一起, together. The pinyin would look like this. All right, 一起. That's actually how the pronunciation would look. The pinyin would probably look like this. And because there's a rule that when E, all right, comes before a word or a syllable with a third tone, we would pronounce it with a fourth tone. All right, so that would be 一起了. All right, 小红是个导游的女儿. This means daughter. 导游 means tour guide. 导游. So they're saying she is a tour guide's daughter. And 家里的房子比较差. They're just saying the family's home is a little bit, it's of low quality. It's of low quality. 比较差. Cha is like not good. And 比较means relatively. All right. So if something is cha, it's a low quality. All right. I hope you do not think this live stream is cha. All right. I hope you think this live stream is hao. All right. Someone said, I can't believe that you do lives, Kenneth. Spam us, Kenan. You know you want to. Oh, wow. I get confused. They talk so fast. All right. There is a math version of Duolingo. Oh, is there? That's hilarious. Will you be making YouTube videos on learning Mandarin Chinese beside the YouTube Shorts? Yes, I will. I will be making videos on how to learn Chinese that are not just shorts. It's been taking a little while, so I put a lot of energy into the shorts, and then I've been doing a lot of other work, but I recently have gone solo. I left my recent role I was the director of studio at a new media agency, and I actually left to focus more on my own mission, which is bringing the Mandarin Chinese language to more Westerners who want to learn it. So I will absolutely be making longer videos. If you want to see more material, videos, lives, and potentially join a Chinese speaking community, please make sure you are subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing. Your support really, really helps me out. All right. Thank you so much. Let's see. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but whatever I studied and knew in the past years already forgotten. No. I'm so sorry. Unlikely lobster. Why do you think you forgot some of your Chinese? I am of the belief that if you really learn tones and pronunciation properly at the beginning, it's very hard to lose it. So I'm not sure how you were learning before. I want to learn characters. Oh yeah, characters are great. Characters are awesome. Characters are logograms, so they give us meaning, right? And the cool thing about is my book shown here? Yeah. The cool thing about characters, right? They're logograms. They tell us what something means, but unfortunately, characters don't give us an exact pronunciation. There are radicals and some patterns in Chinese where you might be able to know what something sounds about like, but there's no indication on any character of what tone something is or the exact syllabic transcription, right? But translating characters is really, really fun. Like, I have so much fun. When I get mail, I sometimes use it as when I get like bilingual or trilingual, multilingual mail that has the English message but also the same message in Mandarin Chinese, I'll use it as a test. I'll try to not look at the English and I'll try to translate the characters to see if I can understand the message. All right, let's go, Lao Shi. Someone said, I can't believe you're doing lives. Hey, I know, right? This is my first live here like this. Are you all seeing this on the Shorts feed, by the way? Can you type Shorts if you are seeing this in the Shorts feed? Because I'm trying to make this a vertical live. Vertical lives aren't too popular right now. Are you seeing this in the Shorts feed? Please let me know. All right, is the old HSK still worth doing? Hey, the HSK system is pretty good. HSK doesn't teach you pronunciation, though. So you can learn a lot of Chinese through the HSK system in terms of reading and obviously reading comprehension and maybe listening skills. Your pronunciation is not graded, though. Okay, so you need to definitely supplement your HSK learning with real life pronunciation practice. I knew people who were HSK 6. All right, they tested at the top at the time what they could have in HSK, and they couldn't hold a conversation about even simple topics with people in Beijing. It was a little unfortunate to watch. It was kind of sad. It's definitely vertical. Someone's saying not Shorts. Are you seeing like black bars next to you, or is it filling your screen, everybody? Can you let me know? Because I'm testing this. This is my first time streaming with OBS. It's my first time streaming here for this account like this. So a bunch of new things all at once. But I just thought I can't delay this anymore. I just got to try it. Are you seeing the full screen? Or are you getting like annoying bars on either side? I hear you very low though. It's not. How's the audio, everybody? Can you let me know? On PC and it's vertical for me. Is my audio okay? Let me know if I need to increase my volume. Audio fine. Cool. I will email you a screenshot. Sweet. My audio is also low. I had to boost it. Okay, audio's good. I hear you fine. Audio great. Okay, a lot of people are saying audio great. I could turn up the input just a little bit for y'all. Thanks, everybody. This is so nice. I just want to say, like, in this chat alone, you have potential friends around the world with whom we can practice Chinese. And that's what I want to do. If you want to maybe join a Chinese-speaking community, I haven't launched it yet. I really want to make sure it's right first. But go ahead, email thechinesedojo@gmail.com, right? And express your interest in maybe joining a Chinese-speaking community. I'm going to try to create like a Discord server where I do something called like Daily Dojo and also have ongoing just available conversation practice for people online where you actually get like your Chinese tones and pronunciation graded and you get feedback and we can practice chatting with people. And I want to turn it into a community where there's enough people to where no matter where you are in the world or no matter what time of day, you could just think to yourself, oh, I have about 5 or 10 minutes right now. Let me pop in to the Discord channel and practice some Chinese. And there would be someone in there with you speaking Chinese. All right, I got you on the phone. Oh, thanks so much. But I see chat on the text. What do you mean? That will be great. Oh, thanks so much. 你在北京读书吗？你口音很北方。No, Jimmy. But I did live in China for 5 years. So does everybody know my backstory? I don't want to be too redundant. But if you want to hear my story, could you type story in the chat? And if enough people say story, I can give a little background. I used to attend in-person Chinese class, but the other classmates were so disruptive. Oh no, I'm sorry about that. Your channel on Discord sounds awesome. Sweet. I just got home from Chinese class, saw that you were live. I'm watching for video. Oh, sweet, Francina. That's awesome. Story. I cannot take out the chat. All right, it's story time, everybody. All right, so 我现在就可以讲一讲一个小故事啊。Or in more clean 普通话，我现在就可以讲一讲一个小故事。I can go explain a little bit of 我个人的故事 my personal story. Oh, thanks so much. By the way, your accent and pronunciation can sound just as good. You just need to respect tones and pronunciation from the beginning. Okay, so a little bit about me, everybody. So my name is Kenan. I did not study Chinese as a child. I actually went to college for chemistry. And the long version of the story, I'll try to make the long version as short as possible. Okay, so I saw a movie called Hero. All right, awesome Chinese movie. Who has seen Hero? Type Hero in the chat if you have seen Hero. How many people have seen that movie? It's with Jet Li. It was directed by Zhang Yimou. All right. Yeah. Look, if you have not seen Hero, everybody, you got to watch this movie. Yeah, it's the one with Jet Li. The one with Jet Li. All right, Hero with Jet Li. Quentin Tarantino brought it to the U.S. It is a fantastic movie. I saw Hero. Y'all are going to think this story is nuts. Okay? I have a crazy story for you. All right, so please buckle up. Buckle up right now because I have an insane story for you. Okay? It's my Chinese story. I'm just going to tell it. All right. So this is the timeline. And I'm going to try to say this. I'm going to try to finish this story within 5 minutes, but I promise you it'll be worth it because it's insane. I promise you it'll be worth it because it's insane. Hello, Nina Laevsky. All right. So some people asked about my Chinese story. So when I was 13, I'm going to write in the little margin here. 13, I saw the movie Hero. Okay? Amazing movie. Go watch it. When I was 13, I saw Hero, and I thought, I want to go to China one day. And I felt like I saw something in the film, something connected with me, and I thought, I need to go to China and experience China one day. Okay? Now, fast forward. I'm 19. I'm enrolled at Oregon State University. I'm studying chemistry, and I was in the National Honor Society, and I was invited to go to China on a trip, on an engineering trip. And I thought because I had saw the movie Hero when I was 13, I was like, oh my gosh, here's my opportunity to go to China and see what it's like. I went to China. I had an incredible time. The people were really nice to me. I had amazing food. The language really kind of titillated my senses. I thought it was so interesting, and I just knew I had to learn Chinese. So I came back to school, and between 19 and 20, okay, I took like 6 months. I took 6 months of Chinese. But then, and I was really loving it. But then my chemistry work became really, it got really difficult, and I was very busy. So I gave up. All right, I gave up Chinese. But I did graduate with my chemistry degree, and then I moved to LA. So when I was 22, I moved to LA. I became an actor. Okay, I became an actor, and when I was 24, about. And I promise you, all of this connects, and it's insane. All right, all of this connects, and it's insane. When I was 24, I saw 2 cats on Facebook that needed to be adopted, and I adopted them. And the lady who was raising the cats was an actress from Austria, but she told me she doesn't act in LA. She told me she acts in China, okay? And I thought, oh man, years ago, I went to China and I had a good time, and I always thought I should learn Chinese and do something with China, but tell me what it's like for you. And she said it's amazing. Acting in China is an incredible opportunity for people who are from the West and who have actual acting skill, but you have to go to China, and you really need to live there and know the language, okay? So she gave me the phone number, all right? She gave me a phone number of an agent in China, and this becomes very important. But then I put it in a drawer and I just forgot about it, okay? 2 more years go by. I'm 26. I'm walking through a parking lot in LA. I run into a friend. He's a buddy. He's working at a local casting office, and they're casting a Chinese movie. And I remember a line from college. 你会说中文吗? And I said that to him in the parking lot, and his eyes just got real wide, and he was like, oh my gosh, Kenan, I promise you, you are the character that this movie is looking for. Your tones are pretty good. And with just barely speaking any Chinese, I landed a role in a movie that shot in New York. Okay, so role. And that's what made me think, once the director told me that they had searched the whole country for more than 3 months to find a Western actor who could speak Chinese. They searched all of the United States for 3 months, couldn't find anyone. They only found me. And I barely spoke any Chinese, and they took me. So that's when I knew, oh my gosh, I need to go to China and actually commit to learning Chinese, because if I do that, I'll become one of the few Western actors in the entire world who are fluent in Mandarin. And these types of movies will have to choose me. All right? Because there are a lot of actors in the world, but almost none of them speak Chinese. And there are a lot of people who speak Chinese in the world, but not a lot of them are actors. I'll become one of the few who are both. But I don't know anyone in China. I have a phone number, right? I have a phone number from the cat lady. So I moved to China. I called the number. I literally didn't know anyone. I just had the phone number. And check this out. I called the number. Within 2 weeks, I'm on a TV show. By the time I'm 28, I have 5 million subscribers in China. And when I'm 31 or 32, I'm getting my numbers wrong. Maybe I'm 30, maybe I'm 29 or 32 or something, but it's about these ages. The last movie I filmed in China, guess who the director was? Guess who the director was? Okay? The same director who directed Hero. Can you imagine that? I acted in a Zhang Yimou film. Yes, from Hero. Yes. So I acted in, the movie is called Sniper. Okay? The movie's called Sniper, directed by Zhang Yimou, and I acted in his movie. And I got to tell the director, I got to tell Zhang Yimou this story. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I was like, you can't believe it. I watched Hero when I was 13, and I knew I had to go to China, and it's because of your movie that I'm now here nearly 20 years later. It's because of your movie that I'm here acting in your movie. Isn't that just wild? Because of the inspiration your movie gave me, I'm now in China acting in your movie. All right, so that it really was full circle. Sorry, that took me. I know that took me a little bit of. Thank you all. Yeah, that is an awesome story. Yes, the 2022 one. Yeah, so I've got a small. I'm one of the American snipers in that film. Um, of course, my largest role in a Chinese movie would be, well, Secret of China. Okay, is a movie where I actually play the lead. I played Edgar Snow, based on the true story of Edgar Snow, who was the first Westerner to encounter the Red Army leaders. Okay, but the biggest role in terms of worldwide fame of the story, right? 3-body problem. Who's heard of the 3-body problem? Santi. Someone says, oh, the message was retracted. Who's heard of Santi? So I was in the Chinese original Santi, the Chinese one. So not the Netflix one. Netflix came later. Netflix remade the story. In my opinion, they changed it a little too much. All right, that's my opinion. The Chinese 3-body problem. Oh yeah, I'm in it. Oh yeah. Oh yes. I am the lead bad guy, baby. I play Mike Evans. All right, so I play Mike Evans in the Chinese 3-body problem. Santi. So what I really want to drive home for everybody though here is that learning Chinese made my dreams come true. I took a skill that I already had, right? Acting on camera and also on stage. I stacked Mandarin Chinese on top of it and brought that skill to a market that's so big and had such a need for Westerners who could speak Chinese. And one of the amazing things, right, is that the cost of entry is just learning the language. And yes, I say just learning the language because the cost of entry, right, in so many industries is not only language, but so much luck and connections and things you can't control, and especially in film, right? In film, you need to be so lucky because there's so much competition. But by placing myself in a pool of people that had almost no competition, that made me a prime choice for any large production who wanted a reliable Western actor who could speak Chinese. And you can do the exact same thing in your industry. You can do the exact same thing with your skill. If you are in real estate or telecommunications or engineering, architecture, I don't care, whatever you do, if you stack Chinese on top of what you do, you can bring your skill to a huge market of willing participants. You can make new friends, maybe meet future family members, but also customers, right, for your businesses. And you can bring it to the world of China, which is such a big market. Did I read the books first? I read the books before we filmed. Yeah, I read the books before we filmed. I had not read the books before I got the audition, but when I booked that role, oh yeah, Santi was the only thing I was reading. I love Chinese. I haven't been studying recently though, and I miss it. Well, world, if you miss it, look, if you want to be studying Chinese, if you want to hop back on the train, hop back on the Chinese learning train, or or board the train for the first time, email me at, oh, I've reached my usage limit. That's funny. I didn't know that this Notability app had a had a paywall. Well, the joke's on me. That's funny. Yeah. Well, email me at the Chinese Dojo .com, and I will subscribe to this Notability app. Email me. So if you want to hop back on the Chinese learning train, or if you want to learn Mandarin Chinese for the first time, email me here at the Chinese Dojo at gmail.com, and I will message you back with materials when I really have valuable materials to share about learning Chinese. Okay, so email me there. And let me see if I can open up these notes in a different fashion. And maybe, yeah. So I can just open up the same notes in this app maybe. It won't look as good, and you might see some controls. Thank you. Yes, so what's up everybody? If you are just joining me, right? 如果你们是新来的 if you are new, if you're just joining me, 如果你刚刚来到了我的直播间 if you're just now joining my live stream room, 我叫柯南 I'm Kenan, or in Chinese it's 柯南 我来自美国 I'm American. I lived in China for 5 years. 我在中国待过5年 Sorry, I got a little distracted by a helicopter. Let me know if you hear the helicopter. Who can hear the helicopter? And tell me the truth, because I need to know if I need to adjust my audio settings or like... Do we hear that? Do we hear that helicopter? Really? Not at all. Oh, that's amazing. All right, maybe we'll hear just a little... That's amazing then. This boom mic is really working. 我在中国住过5年 Oh yeah, there it goes. And 我是一个专业的演员 I'm a professional actor. 后来我就学过了，我就学会了汉语、中文，然后我把我的中文放在我其他的能力上，其他的天赋上，得到了很多非常好的机会。I only hear it with volume at 100. Nice. Good. Okay. So here we have 买房子，买房子，买房子。That's the pinyin for 买房子 means to buy a house. And here we say 不是个简单的事情. Does anyone know what this means? 不是个简单的事情. Do I have an eraser is the question. Is that an eraser? Yeah, okay. All right, so 不是. So 是 right here, right? That is it is. It's the verb to be, it's is, and the 不 is the it's the negative. It means no or negate something. So 不是 means is not, right? 不是 is not. 简单 means simple, and 事情 is like a thing, right? So we're saying buying a house is not a simple thing. 买房子不是个简单的事情. Maybe I should write that over here. 简单 means simple. 简单. So it's third tone, first tone. 简单. And you can either listen or just follow along. that might sound like the same thing. You can either listen to me pronounce these things and try to really differentiate the tones in your own mind, or you can follow along and try to mimic the tones yourself. 简单,简单. Let's see here. All right. Hi there. How's it going? Sprite bottle. Sprite was my favorite. Is the use of 个, a measure word. Well, yeah, it's sort of. It's not really. Yeah, it is a use of a measure word here. We've omitted something like 一不是一个简单的事情. So yeah, it's basically being used as a measure word here. 小红书. So what she said. 或者马上给他280万. So you either immediately give her 2.8 million so she can buy a house and continue being the girlfriend, or she's gonna leave me. That's what she's saying. You either give me 2.8 million to buy a house and I can still be your girlfriend, or she'll leave me. Look. That's so funny. Can you imagine that? Houses are way more expensive than. That's okay if she leaves you, Kenan. Yeah, this is 离开我, to leave. 离开, to leave. Can you see these notes? Do I have to adjust that just a little bit? 离开, leave. All right. So 马上, right? 马上 means immediately. 马上. All right. ASAP, immediately. So 小红说或者马上给他280万，他买了房子还做我女朋友。You either immediately give her 2.8 million, she buys a house and still is my girlfriend, or she'll leave me. Can I get a so what do we think, y'all? So give me a 1 in the chat. 1 in the chat is give her the 2.8 mil. Give her the 2.8 mil. 2 is leave her. 1 in the chat. Give her the 2.8 mil so she can still be the girlfriend. Or 2, leave her. People say, what's up? You're watching me from Botswana. That's amazing. Sprite Bottle says, I'm a native speaker. Your Chinese is super, super good. Awesome. We have a lot of people. 2 all day. Nina says 1. Nina has voted 1 in the chat. Nina says, give her the 2.8 mil. 2, and I'll give you my husband. You could wait. What? That's so funny. Okay, well, luckily this Xiao Hong is not my girlfriend. All right. You know, to each their own. To each their own. Again, does everyone in the chat, if you know the answer, well, how do I do this? If you're a native Chinese speaker, okay? If you're a native Chinese speaker, please do not give this answer away. We want the Chinese learners to answer this, okay? Do you know what this symbol means right here? If you're a native Chinese speaker, please hold the fingers. Just tap a bunch of likes. Share the live, maybe. But if you are a Chinese learner, all right, do you know what this symbol means right there? Do you know what this means? 1. Do you know what that means? Go ahead, type in the chat. I think it looks like a tooth. Yeah, it kind of looks like a tooth. So for Chinese learners, does anyone know what this is? The pronunciation is wan. Wan. Oh, we've got a potential answer in the chat. 10,000. 10,000. Are they right? Are they right? Type a 1. Type a 1 if you think that's right. Type a 1 if it's right. Yes, you are correct. You are correct. You are correct. So 1 means 10,000. 100,000 is a million, right? So to say a million, oh, whoops. To say a million, you would either write the number 100 and then the character 1. Right, so 100 10,000s is 1 million. That's actually how Chinese people say 1 million. So in English, we will say 1,000, and then we kind of count our thousands up until a million, right? We say 10,000s or 100,000. But in Chinese, with large numbers, we actually count in 10,000s. All the way up to 100 million, actually. So like a million is 110,000s. And 10 million is 1,000 10,000s. Right? 1,000,000, 1,000 10,000s. 10 mil. 10 mil, baby. Yes. Yes. So, and how you say a million, 100,000, 100,000. The pinyin for, do we want the pinyin for 1 million, everybody? So the pinyin for 1 million. Yeah, if you were right, hey, if you were right, you deserve a pat on the back. So here's the pinyin for 1 million. However, when we say e before a third tone, the pronunciation is going to change to the fourth tone. But it's one of the very rare exceptions in Chinese, by the way. So this will be pronounced 100,000. 100,000. That's a million. All right. I'm so sped. I wrote this right. Love this class. Oh, thank you so much. This is simplified Chinese. Yeah, so on the mainland, in mainland China, they use simplified Chinese. You might see, you're going to see traditional Chinese in other parts of the world, but on mainland China, you're going to see simplified Chinese. So everything you see right here is simplified Chinese. On my channel, I am speaking Mandarin Chinese. All Mandarin is Chinese. Not all Chinese is Mandarin. Okay? So if I said like Mandarin, right? And had a little circle. Right? So all Mandarin is Chinese. If you're speaking Mandarin, right? If you're in the Mandarin circle, you're in the Chinese circle. But just because you're in the Chinese circle doesn't mean you're in the Mandarin circle. Does that make sense? Let me know if that kind of makes sense. My daughter's first, yeah, so like, you know, if you pick a random spot in the circle, you might be here. Hey, maybe in that spot you're speaking Cantonese, right? Or Dongbeihua. But this is my favorite way of explaining it. Just because you speak English doesn't mean you... Oh, let's play nice now. Let's play nice now. The girl with a special ability. We all want to know what the ability is. What's the special ability? All right. Let's see. Frequency of Currently use keyframe frequency. Yes, I'm Malaysian Chinese. I'm from South. I can say, oh, really? Okay. All right. All right, you got it. You got it. I grew up in Virginia first, Northern Virginia though. So Virginia is interesting. Virginia is kind of on the cusp of North and South. Northern Virginians aren't really considered Southern, but Southern Virginia is the South basically. Hi Ken, what would you say is the best app to learn Chinese? Max the Cat Wizard. We want to know the best app to learn Chinese. You know, right now, I personally really don't think. Well, first of all, type app in the chat. Type app in the chat if you want to be learning Chinese but haven't found the right app yet. Type app, okay? App in the chat if you want to learn Chinese but haven't found the right app for you yet. Have not found an effective app yet. We got 1 app. We got 2. We got 3. We got 4. Whoa, we got 5. App. Okay, a lot of people are saying app. So a lot of people are voting for. Oh, I'm seeing some kind of error, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. If people are seeing some kind of error, let me know. Does everything look good? Okay. Let me know if something's glitchy or something. Someone says I'm learning Chinese through dealing. It's been really okay. 我不会说中文. It looks like you can speak Chinese. I'd rather real material. Okay. So a lot of people say that they want to learn Chinese but haven't found an app that works for them. And in my honest opinion, right? In my honest opinion, there's not one do-it-all app just yet. So I do hope what you need is a multitude. You need a combination of learning materials. Right, so you need a combination of learning materials. Duolingo might be good for learning singular words. However, you're not going to increase your pronunciation ability. So I would actually be wary of learning too many words before you've really solidified your tones and pronunciation. Tones and pronunciation must come first. They've got to come first. It's a tonal language. You have to understand the tones very, very well. You don't want to commit to learning word like just look at this, okay? Like this sentence right here. If I draw the tones, okay? 天两天我的女朋友小红. Okay? Is everyone following along? These are the tones. If you learned these incorrectly, right? If you learned these words and committed them to memory before you really grasped tones and pronunciation, you might have these all wrong, right? So if I wrote red, like if you learned these in red, and maybe you learned some of them correctly or something, but if your tones look more like this, then the errors that you make are just going to compound into the thousands and millions, and people are going to be confused when they speak to you. And then when you finally understand that life is difficult because your sentences are confusing and wrong all the time, you have to go back and unlearn what you've committed to memory and learn Chinese again, basically. Like, don't do that to yourself. So what you want to do from the beginning is learn tones properly, right? Learn tones and pronunciation properly from the beginning. Let's see. And one way you can do that, obviously subscribe to my channel. I focus a lot on tones and pronunciation in my content. Make some Chinese friends if you can, and tell them to be difficult with you. Tell them to be brutally honest with you. The thing about speaking with Chinese people is they can be very forgiving and nice. And what you need is someone who's going to be really tough on you and let you know when your tones are incorrect. Because the real world, business partners and customers and people where there's time and money and energy on the line, they're not going to be so forgiving as our friends. So you really want people to be honest with you. Find some Chinese movies and TV shows to watch that you can have playing in the background. And then what you can also do is if you're interested in perfecting your Chinese tones and pronunciation, I'm actually creating an affordable course that's going to be like a timed course. It's going to be like a 3-month program where you go from 0 to 100. You learn how to pronounce every single Chinese syllable, right? Every single syllable in Mandarin Chinese in 3 months. I'm recording the course material right now. If you're interested in something like that, please let me know you're interested in that. It's not ready yet, but I can just put you on the list. And I will choose a few lucky people to be in a free pilot program, right? Because I want to make sure it's really, really good before I release it out to the masses. So if you're interested in potentially being considered for a free trial run of a tones and pronunciation course, right? It's going to be called the Tonal Master. Email me at thechinesedojo@gmail.com, and I can definitely consider you for that. Let's see, what do we got? For real, my Chinese teacher keeps cooking me. Oh man, well that's good. It's good. I understand the importance of tones now. Thank you. Yes, there's no local class. I'm kind of scared of tones. I've already emailed you twice tonight. Oh my gosh, I've just been live. I'm sorry I haven't responded yet. I've just been here. You know, the coolest thing about tones is there are only 4 of them in Mandarin Chinese, right? There are only 4 of them, and a lot of other people think they're scary, and that's what's beautiful. As long as you learn that they don't have to be scary, and that allow of skills and just be extremely can we see this? Difficult and high. I'm going to draw an arrow here. High value. Difficult and high value. Right? Chinese is in the middle. It's difficult and high value. So there are many things in the world that are really difficult, right? Like, what's something that's really difficult? Well, you could spend many years learning how to take a quarter, right? Value, no one cares, right? And then there are things in the world that are high value, but they're actually not really difficult. A lot of people do them, right? And when I say difficulty, I mean like perceived difficulty, so it sort of repels a lot of people from doing it. And the great thing about Chinese is because it's difficult, it has a high perceived difficulty and high market value. Not many people are going to choose to do it and compete with you. So you have like a moat. You'll protect yourself from outside competition. If you're the one person at your company who can fluently converse with the Chinese clients, and then there's a round of layoffs or something, it's going to be much more difficult to lay you off when you have such a valuable skill that no one else wants to learn because they think it's so scary. Does that make sense? Like, and I'll just, from my own experience, I've gotten corporate jobs where there were a lot of other people who were maybe more qualified for the base skill that was required, but because I knew Mandarin Chinese, I got the job because I started bringing value to companies in a multitude of other ways. Does that make sense? Let's see. I found this really fun. Yeah. Hey, yeah. And look, it's funny because I'll make videos where I do tonal differences, right, in my videos. You've seen the content. And you'll get some native speakers actually who say that I'm scaring people away and that I shouldn't make content like that because it scares people away. Okay, a couple thoughts on that. if people get scared away from something off of hearing it once, then maybe they weren't right for it anyway. Okay? Because the right people are inspired by it. The right people. And I think that's all of you, right? You hear Chinese words, you see Chinese characters, you see the tones, and something in you clicks and you want it. And that's, you're the perfect person for Mandarin Chinese. If at the first sight of something you're scared away, then it probably wasn't for you. Crazy how learning a language can change everything. Absolutely. I mean, all my artistic dreams came true because of Mandarin Chinese. My friend's uncle is big in the music industry in China because he could pick up the language. That's right. And the awesome thing, y'all, the awesome thing about Chinese is that, and let me write it in big letters here. Can I actually write here? You don't need to be fluent. You don't even need to be fluent. So I think, and let me know if, and the only reason I've come up with these ideas is I've really spent like hundreds of hours thinking about it. But at the beginning, I had this kind of unspoken assumption, this kind of hidden fallacy that I either have zero Chinese or I'm fluent in Chinese. Like it's either I don't know Chinese or I'm really, really good at Chinese, right? But that's not true. When you start learning Chinese, and check this out, most of the world, all right, most Westerners have zero Chinese. Most Westerners have absolutely no Chinese. So when you just start speaking a little Chinese, and if your tones sound pretty good, I can honestly say you will start to notice a difference in your life and professional opportunities when you get to like 5% fluency. Because that's already so much more than other people in like Europe and the United States, that doors will begin to start opening when you've just learned like proper pronunciation and tones but haven't learned a lot of words yet. And then if you're like 15 to 25% fluent, you can actually use Chinese at work and for your job. Now, you might not be making presentations and huge important seminars, for like $1 million, $10 million deals, but it's very common for like Chinese business people or travelers to know a little bit of English as well. And you might just open the meeting in some elementary Chinese, and the rest of the meeting or the rest of the event might be conducted in English, but the impression you will make when you use Chinese, even just for a little bit at the beginning, the impression you'll make and the trust you'll create with your Chinese audience is bar none. It's amazing. So when you are able to just just introduce yourself and give a little bit of background, like if you're just able to say like, 你好，我是柯南，我来自俄勒冈州. I'm Kenan, I'm from Oregon. Chinese people will be so astounded because they're used to Westerners not speaking any Chinese. All right, that's my experience. The chat is, let's see, what are we saying? I studied Chinese in uni, ended up taking level 1 2 years in a row because I wanted to learn it so bad. I studied very hard. I still want to learn it though. If you still want to learn, I want to help you. Email me here at the Chinese Dojo. Email me at the Chinese Dojo at gmail.com. I'm coming up with a tones and pronunciation master course that's going to be like a 3-month program where by the end of the program, people should be able to go from zero Chinese to being able to correctly pronounce, every single syllable in the Mandarin Chinese language. If that interests you, please email me there and express your interest. When I'm done with the pilot program, I am going to choose a few people to maybe do it for free, just so I can trade the program for feedback. I find the characters easy to memorize. That's the special ability. That is a special ability. Your ability is making friends. Yeah, I can say the most basic phrases in Chinese. That's great. Then I bet you already get like a very welcome attitude. I was okay with spoken, but was abysmal at writing and reading. Well, what's really great about modern Mandarin Chinese is that there aren't many situations in life where you need to take a pen and actually write characters. You do need to read, but as long as you get very comfortable with pinyin and reading, you can type. So in China, like everything's done with the smartphone or computers. You basically just need to be able to sign your name in Chinese. So like when I was like giving autographs and stuff, I would like sign my name, and that's like all I ever wrote. Kenan. That's pretty much all I would ever write in Chinese. The rest I would type. Okay, so you do need to learn how to read the characters if you want to use Mandarin professionally. And in your life, it's very good to do so. But yeah, writing is not so necessary. But by practicing the writing, that will help ingrain the characters in memory. Let's see. I was okay. Wondering if there are any prerequisites for the course. There are not prerequisites for the course. Well, Xiao Weijin, are you Chinese? You have a Chinese name. So if you already speak Chinese, like if you're Chinese and speak Chinese, you probably would not need the course. So I guess a hidden prerequisite for the course is that you speak English, because I will teach it in English. Let's see. No. I downloaded a Chinese keyboard for my phone, and it uses pinyin to choose the characters. That's exactly right. So as long as you become very comfortable with pinyin, you can type in Chinese. Yep. You'll be able to type in Chinese. All right, so here, moving on with our little story. I need to turn my pen back on. All right. So we have these two characters, 很早. All right, so 很 means very, and 早 means early. Okay. So we have 很早. And here we have we encounter what's called the third tone Sandy rule, which is when we have a phrase that has two third tones, the first third tone in the pair is pronounced as a second tone. Okay, so the pronunciation of this, if I put the pronunciation in red, right, it's going to be 很早, 很早, which means very early. 很 means very, 早 means early. So 很早 is very early. What do we got here? I will admit the school. Yusra is getting a lot of messages, or retracting a lot of messages. Oh, that's why it's 早上好 for good morning. That's exactly right. 早上好. That's right. 早上, morning, good means good morning. 早上好, good morning. Exactly right. Good for you. So 很早, very early. 就有人告诉我. 就有人告诉我. 告诉 is to tell. 我 is me. 小红和我好. 就是为了钱. All right. 为了 is because of something, and 钱 is money. So here we're saying very early there were people telling me that Xiaohong is with me just because of money. That's what we're saying. Or that Xiaohong treats me well because of money. Yeah, well, so if someone says, Arya Thul says, it's crazy after all these years, I still remember these rules. Hey, when you learn the rules properly at the beginning, they stick because there aren't actually many rules. Grammar and rules are so easy in Chinese. Mandarin Chinese the grammar is so easy. It's ridiculous. All right. 她不是个好姑娘. She's not a good girl. All right. 她不是个好姑娘. So she's not a good girl. 不是 would be not. 好姑娘, 好 means good, and 姑娘 is a girl. So 她不是个好姑娘. Yes. Well, I'm off. It's unfortunately been a long 2 days with hurricane. Oh my gosh, you're near the hurricane. Oh no. Okay, well, if you're near, look, anyone who's affected by the hurricane, my prayers and wishes and thoughts and everything go out to you. Please, could everyone type a 1 in the chat to send digital support and good wishes to everyone in the hurricane area. Yes, please take care. Please take care. We're all rooting for you. My gosh. So thankful that you've been able to be here with us. Yeah. I have to go too, but thanks so much, Kenan. This was great. Looking forward to more lives. Thank you. Yeah, we are. I'll still go on for a little bit here. We'll read a little bit more, but yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's right. All right. Yeah. Please take care of yourself. Please be safe out there. Yeah. All right. Man, I've not been affected by a hurricane myself. I see them on the news, and it just looks just absolutely terrifying. So I'm very sorry for anyone who's been affected by these disasters. You know, that is not easy. Okay. So yes, so she's a gold digger, and 这话我不太相信. All right, so the main character here is in disbelief. 不太相信. All right, so 相信 means believe. All right, and the pinyin 相信 to believe. 不太相信 or 这话 is speech. So it literally means this speech I do not believe very much. Or, you know, to translate it a little more eloquently, I don't believe the things people are saying. Is ta female or male? Sorry, a little confused. That's a good question. No problem. I can explain that. So ta is, depending on the character, either male or female, but the pronunciation is the same for he, she, or it. Does everyone know that? So let's look at that. Okay? Let's look at that right here. This right here is the female ta. Right? Ta. The male ta. All right, so female ta is right there. Again, we see it right there. Does anyone know what the male ta would look like? It should look like this. All right. And then, so that's also, we also have ta. Right, so ta is both he or she, just depending on the character. Right, and oh, sorry, that, yeah, they're all first tone, ta. And this is also ta, which means it. right? The female, right? Yeah. So ta. They're all he, she, or it, depending on the character. All right, so here I'm underlining a lot of the so let me circle the female tas here. All right, that's the female version. And you're right, yes, it has nu, and it has the symbol for female. Sorry, you think you're behind. Wait, someone's saying one. What's the one for? So hypothetically, I could say 她是个很美 or 她是很美. Oh, you would not. So to say something like that, you would not actually use 是. You would just directly say 她很美. 她很美. Yeah. So what's great in Chinese is when saying like she is very beautiful, you actually don't use the verb to be there. You just say, you just mention the subject and the adjective, right? So you would just say 她很美. You want to say she's very beautiful. 她很美. 她很美. She is very beautiful. Yeah, no problem. Hey, we are all students here. I think you're doing a great job by even beginning to construct your own Chinese sentences. That's what this takes. You know, we just have to get the words out of our mouths, get the characters out of our fingers, into the phone, into the chats with the Chinese to get the practice. You need to get the reps in. And again, you don't need to be fluent for Chinese to change your life, okay? Because most people don't know any Mandarin Chinese. So if you know just a little, right? If you are able to just introduce yourself and have a little bit of conversation in Mandarin Chinese, it's going to open doors for you and inspire you to keep going. It really, really is. You guys, thank you so much. I'm going to have to go in a few minutes. But let me know if this has been useful. Like, what has been the most useful portion of this for you? So type in the chat, like, do you like the live readings? Do you like seeing the tones? Do you like hearing my personal stories? You know, are you looking more for direct instruction or inspiration or all of the above? I really need to hear from you because I want to tailor this show to you. I basically, you know, I just randomly went live today and just thought the live readings and tones are great. I like that part, like the live reading. Cool. Definitely all the above. All right, cool. So I love the reading, the stories, the underlining. It's inspiring. Great. Great. The explanations. Okay. Hi, Ken. What are the steps you use to use a new word in the right context? 故事. Oh, like the stories. Okay. Into learning new words with the right context. I would reference the dictionary, and I would try to read sentences. You know, so if I said, I'm going to open up an app that everyone should get. It's called Pleco. All right, this app is called Pleco. Okay, it looks like this. Oh. Pleco. You should download that. It's an amazing digital Chinese dictionary. You can use pinyin or characters. It gives you stroke order, and then there are example sentences that you can use, and it's definitely like a lifesaver. So an amazing, amazing app to use, Pleco, and it's free. It should be free. Okay, everybody. If you, thank you so much for your feedback and for being here with me. Your explanations, 故事谢谢，不客气，不客气。Thank you all so much for being here. If you are interested in potentially joining a tones and pronunciation course that will be really, really effective and affordable, if you're potentially interested in being in a pilot program, which would mean getting it for free, just trading, you being in the program and trying your best and then giving me feedback, or all of the above, email thechinesedojo@gmail.com. Express your interest. Tell me why you should be in the pilot program. Yeah, I really want to get people who are passionate. But even if, it's going to be a small group of people, just to be straightforward, it's going to be a small group of people in the pilot program. But even, the full version is going to be very, very affordable and super effective. And then on the back end and during the course, there's going to be something like a Discord server. I'm going to call it the Daily Dojo. And we'll have daily tasks and feedback. All right, a big portion of this course is going to be actual human feedback, either from me or from native Chinese speakers, where you submit audio files, actual recordings of your speech and pronunciation, and get it actually graded. Right? It's not just a recorded video where you have to do everything yourself. It's not just a list of stuff that you have to memorize, and it's no AI, zero AI, zero. All right, so it's going to be actual awesome pronunciation practice and real feedback. Definitely good, but Pleco doesn't show the stroke orders for all the characters, just some of them. But other than that, it's definitely a lifesaver. Oh, wow, I haven't seen a character where it didn't show the stroke order, but that's interesting. The Chinese Dojo at Gmail. Yes, the full course is going to be like a 3-month course. And the reason it's going to be timed is because I want people to actually be committed to finishing it. All right. It's not just going to be something where I try to trap people into a subscription that lasts forever, but they might never use it. So, it's going to be a 3-month course where you progress sequentially through the initials, finals, and tones and syllables and everything of Mandarin Chinese. The pilot program might be like half that length, like maybe a month or something. But yeah, so thank you all. Let's see. Thanks for your answer. First time here and alive. I discovered you in shorts. I will use Pleco. Oh yeah, thank you all for watching my shorts. Thank you all so much for watching my shorts. Please share the videos with people who you think might be interested in Chinese. Stay subscribed and make sure you hit that notification bell so you get the notifications. I typically release videos Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6:15 a.m. Pacific time. I want to do more lives. I want to have more of a community with all of you. I'm really passionate about this. Chinese changed my life. Mandarin Chinese helped my artistic dreams come true. And I really want to see what Mandarin Chinese can do for other people's lives as well. So, oh, that's so nice. Bibi, Muslima, Azizi. This actually makes me quite excited. I feel jittery. I'm very excited too. Okay, y'all. Well, thank you so much for being here. I will give you the rest of your evening back, but please stay notified. Thanks so much, Sophia. That really, because look, I'm alone in my garage, and then I film everything and edit it all myself. So sometimes it can feel very lonely. It's very nice to see everyone on the other side enjoying the content. But yeah, if you're wanting to join a Chinese-speaking community, please email me at thechinesedojo@gmail.com. You've all been super fantastic. I can't wait to see you in the next one. I will talk to you all later. 我非常感谢你为我抽了时间跟我在一起学中文了。I'm super thankful that you took time to come here and learn some Chinese together. 希望你们的一切都非常好。晚安，下次见。I hope everything goes well for you, and I will see you all next time. All right, so thank you so much. Good